But notice this is cocoa powder. This is not that sugary mix, because when you get the sugar, it's too heavy and it goes right through. Okay, so you want to get something that's light, a little more powdery. Okay, so you go like this and spread it all around, and you cover the whole thing, and you heat it immediately. Don't wait like I did. Okay, so you start heating it right away, and as you do that, as you'll see in the video, and then you want to make sure that you have these things like this, the tectonic plates, so that they could start, as they're observing, they could start saying, well, what it looks like. What does this look like? So at this point, you can start asking them, okay, what does the powder represent? What does the milk represent? And this is when now, once they've completed this activity, and they have their own, they can actually refer to this particular activity. They can refer to this particular activity, and they can then start making their connections. Okay, so once they see that, they could say, what does the powder represent? Well, looks to me like the powder probably represents the crust, or what we call the lithosphere, right? Okay, so at that point then, and as it starts going, you'll start noticing, and you want to maybe get a point or a pencil or something like that, because at some point you're going to start seeing it crack. You see that? You're going to start seeing it crack. You see that? And did you notice how it came up a little bit? So at that point, and if you do it right away, don't wait like I did. But when you do it right away, when you start seeing some of the cracks, you'll start seeing some of the milk bubble through.
Oh, sweet.
Yes, and that right there. Okay.
That's the one that I do with the oil, not the oil, the syrup, and the quart.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, it starts. So at that point, now you can look at this. You can look at this and start saying, well, how does this thing resemble what you're looking at here, right? So, and these two would be important to have. So you'd want to have something like this, so that they could see the crack. And so what is it that's causing these cracks? Well, the milk is heating up. How would you connect that to this? And in the mantle, you know that the rock there is very heated up, and in some cases it'll even get molten. It produces convection currents that start moving, and that's what starts moving the crust, and that's when you start seeing these movements and the plate movement. And then you can even go from the egg thing. You can have them recall it and see where the plates are going to be converging and producing subduction zones, and then where they're going to be diverging and producing those divergent, those rift values, those rift values, exactly. Okay, yes, and so you can start seeing it, see? And you see that, and so you start seeing where it starts cracking through. And this also will show you some hot spots, like, for example, Hawaii is a hot spot, right? So you see that, and you start asking, well, how can they make those connections? And then if you even want, if you have a big enough plate, you can even get like continents and start putting them on there. And that could kind of mimic a little bit of that. Yes? You see that?
Mm-hmm.